Building a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh deck is expensive, but not necessarily difficult. With tools such as TCG Player and eBay, duelists around the world are able to have access to any card they can imagine, just at a few clicks of a mouse. I decided to take on the ultimate challenge. Starting from just 3 structure decks and on a budget of under $40 a week, I'm going to attempt to construct a competitive deck entirely from sealed product. No trading, no buying individual cards online, all leading up to taking on one of Yu-Gi-Oh's biggest challenges, topping a Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series event. This is Sealed Only Yu-Gi-Oh! How's it going? Welcome back to a Sealed Only Yu-Gi-Oh! Today, we are opening a box of Duel Power as well as Structure Deck Rokket Revolt to try to upgrade our Sealed Only deck. It might seem a little surprising as I've been talking mad game about Savage Strike for the past few weeks, but I made an oopsie. I ordered Savage Strike like last week, but I didn't order it to the right address. That being said, we had to do a little bit of adjusting to what we're opening today. So I decided to open the second structure deck, Rokket Revolt, which we were going to have to open anyways. I was just finding an ideal week to. And then we're going to open Duel Power in our search for the Hieratic Sphere of Heavenly Spheres. Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres? That's the name. Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres is in this thing. This is the only thing we need from Duel Power as of now. We've got everything else we needed from it. So, lots of good things in this set still, though. We have Infinite Impermanence still in here, evenly matched. Just some ideal side deck cards. Also, Ghost Ogre, Snow Rabbit, Ash Blossom, Joy Spring. With Duel Devastator coming out in like a few weeks, it's not a big deal, but those are pretty cool to have here. But the only thing is the Hieratic Seal. This is its only printing here in Duel Power, so this is our only chance to grab it. I'm going to crack open the structure deck right here. We already thumbed through this before, so I'm just going to pull out the things we absolutely need from it. If you guys want to start your own sealed journey, or if you're just looking to pick up singles anytime soon, use my TCG Player affiliate link down in the description below. If you use the link, I get a cut of what you pay, and it requires absolutely nothing of you. Also, these next few weeks here for the sealed only journey are going to be huge. We just did amazing at the Philadelphia Regional, but also next week we have OTS Championships, and then the week following is YCS Dallas. OTS Championships aren't quite as important since we already have our invite from the regional, but since there are a lot of people that normally go to those, it attracts a lot of players, the prize pool is huge, so I'm going to give that a shot, try to sneak in a couple of extra packs before Dallas the following week. By the way, here are the 4 cards from the structure deck, in case you didn't catch it the first time. These are the only 4 things that are like totally relevant for our deck. Second Dragon Shrine is clutch for getting the Dark Worm. Twin Twisters and Red Reboot are great side deck options. And then the second Triple Burst is, I honestly don't think I'm going to use it, but I'm just going to have it just in case. Now to the real opening today, and that is the box of Duel Power. We opened this twice before, but we couldn't get quite lucky enough to pull the seal. We need a seal, and a beat cop would also be nice, but it's totally not necessary. Duel Power still range around $30 retail. You can find them cheaper online, most likely, if you want to do it that way. But I picked this up for $30, and I picked the structure deck up for $10, rounding out our $40 budget for the day. All right, pop the top. Any day now. Nice. Okay, promo pack very quickly. You guys have seen this twice before. Couple of good looking lads there. Look at all those. Right, okay, packs. I may not have good luck with pulling LP, but please, if there's anything, just give me good luck with pulling 1 seal. 6 packs of Duel Power. Let's get into it. Alright, pack number 1 of Duel Power. We have, if it wants to focus, Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound, followed by Hieratic King Dragon of Atum, Security Dragon, Odd Eyes Advanced Dragon, and an Eternal Soul. Pack number 2, Soul Pendulum, High Priestess of Prophecy, Bond Between Teacher and Student, never seen that card before in my life, Hieratic Dragon of Tefnut, and a Trickstar Holly Angel. We're seeing Hieratic cards, no seal yet though, just need the seal. Another Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound, Hieratic Dragon King of Atum, Nekroz of Valkyris, Odd Eyes Advanced Dragon, and another Eternal Soul. That's almost like an exact replica of the first pack we just opened. Alright. Pack number 4, give it some Silver Gadget. Utopic Onomatopoeia, Oh, yes, Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. Yes. Oh, that's fucking huge. Oh my god, look at it. Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. It's only printing in Duel Power. This is a massive, massive card for our Guard Dragon engine. LP's waiting for us, boys. The only other card I can imagine getting from this set that would be nice is Beat Cop. But this was all we needed. We finally got it. Duel Power is finally finished. Oh my god, thank god. Last two cards are Stardust Wish and a Mark of the Rose. Alright, so 2 more packs of Duel Power. None of them particularly matter. Infinite Impermanence would be an insane pull. Could you imagine just sticking that in our side deck? Oh. Nekroz Mirror, Lefty Driver, Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, followed by Harpy Dancer, as well as a Galaxy Soldier right there. Cool kind of reprint. And the last pack of the opening today, as well as our very last pack of Duel Power. I don't think I have an excuse to ever revisit this set. Thank God, I'm done opening this thing. Right up at the front there is a Sewell Pendulum, followed by a High Priestess of Prophecy, a Platinum Gadget, a Hieratic Dragon of Tefnut, and another Trickstar Holly Angel. Weird, I feel like we got like a lot of duplicate packs. Like I think we got 2 of this guy, we got 2 of this. Weird. I am not even complaining though because we got the seal. This is literally all we needed. Thank God. Duel Power is officially finished. Can't quite add that guy to the main deck yet though. We're going to be waiting on LP. But once we get it though, we're playing it almost full power. That's so crazy to think about. Okay, so changes to the deck are going to be minimum. I felt really good with how we did at the Philadelphia Regional, so I don't want to adjust too much about the deck, and I want to just kind of give it another go at locals. But I am going to add a few of the cards we got today. Namely, the 3 cards that are going in are these 3 fellas here: Twin Twister, Red Reboot, and Dragon Shrine. Twin Twister and Red Reboot, I already think I know what I'm replacing. There they are. We're gonna take out the Watt Kinetic Puppeteers. I did give it a shot, guys. I gave it a genuine chance. I don't know what you guys see in this card. I'm taking it out for these 2 cards, which are strictly way better. And then the Dragon Shrine here. I don't really know what to cut in the main deck. The main deck's very tight. The only thing I can remove is the Zephyr engine. And if I remove the Zephyr engine, then I'm gonna be stuck like a bunch of cards because I need to keep at least 40. Not until I get cards like Allure of Darkness or Foolish Burial will I actually have enough cards to fully replace the Zephyr engine. I'm actually kind of still enjoying it now though, even if it is severely reacted. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna actually add Dragon Shrine, but I'm also gonna add another card, and that's Reflection of Enemy. Understandably, you might not have seen this guy before, so I'll give you guys a quick rundown. He's a low scale, and his pendulum effect is I can remove 3 spell counters from him to summon him from the scale, as well as a card from my hand that can hold a pendulum counter. When he's special summoned too, I can bounce a card with a pendulum counter back to my hand to be able to bounce a card my opponent controls. I don't think that targets. No, it definitely targets, but you know what? That's okay. The card is still pretty good. It gives us an additional form of removal that we're actually desperately needing right now. I've been activating a lot of Endymions from my scale to wipe boards, but I feel like this would be a pretty good thing to bring off of maybe Servant from the scale to just immediately bounce the Servant if I have a board I have to navigate or something. So I'm not going to think too much about it. I'm just going to throw him in the deck as well as the Dragon Shrine. That's going to put us to 42 cards. Also, last week with our Megaton opening, which by the way, if you didn't watch that, it was a pretty interesting open. I highly recommend. Last week in our Megaton opening, I pulled a pretty good generic Link monster, which I'm looking for now. There she is. Wee Witch Apprentice. Not exactly the most insane Link 2, but it is a Link 2 that only requires 2 dark monsters with the down pointing arrows, which is important. We can't access like any of our synchros right now, so I figure why the hell not? I'll replace this with one of the bunk synchros here. Like we'll get rid of Stardust Dragon. It had its time to shine. Right, I am going to sleeve all these up, and then we gotta get the locals. So it's time to duel. Interesting day at locals today. Kind of a smaller crowd than usual. Everybody's at Niagara for the YCS, but that gives us more of a reason to just play test and solidify ourselves for YCS Dallas coming up. Not too many changes made to the main deck, but I'm still feeling rather confident after our X3 kind of sweep over at the Philadelphia Regionals, picking up that invite. I think we can do okay. Adding Reflection, I'm pretty sure it might be a good addition. It's more just to test and see if it actually works in theory, but we'll find out today, I guess. How many people do we add today, Owen? We might barely hit the limit today. We need 6 players to play. So I don't know how many rounds of locals. How many is that? 4? We need 3 rounds. 3 rounds? Probably 3 rounds today. I'll let you guys know in a minute, I guess. But let's get right into it. First place, OTS Championship playmat, invite to 2020. Booster pack prizes. That's what we're after there. Hey, okay, so round 2 is over. We're so far 1-1. Didn't record any recaps for these 2 rounds. Round 1 we played against Cyber Dragon Orchist and we 2-0'd him. And then the second game we played against True King Dinos again. We played against this guy before and he just smacked us by summoning True King of All Calamities. Well, this time I didn't lose to True King of All Calamities, but both of the games he did gamma my heavy metal foe Electromite. So, yeah, that's how that went. There's only 14 players here today, and there's 4 rounds of locals, which means I think you have to go X1 to make top 4 to get some sort of prizing. It's only a cut to top 4, so not a lot of room for error. Pretty much have to win out these last few ones. I'll let you guys know how that goes. Spiral. 5. You choose. All right, good luck. Round 3 is done. We actually caught the dub for this one, surprisingly. Played against Cyber Dragon Orchist again. I've been seeing this deck pop up a lot. But we actually lost the die roll. He opted to go first, which I don't really know exactly what's the best to go with this deck. Like, I see a lot of Cyber Dragon players opt to go second, but I guess with this variant with the Orchist, going first is better because you can just set up your first turn Orchist board, which is exactly what he did. He ended up like summoning the core and then machine duping it, which allowed him to be able to summon Cyber Dragon Infinity, Long Gearsu, as well as a Ding Gearsu, ready to come back the next turn. Very powerful setup. I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can out this. I take a peep down in my hand, and my hand's like actually like nuts. I opened like really good, like 3 spells. I think it was Spell Power Mastery, Oracle, and then like Pot of Desires or Dragon Shrine or something, and then like 2 other dudes. It's a really dominant hand, you know, if I was going first. But against only 1 negate being the Cyber Dragon Infinity, I thought maybe I could at least give it a shot. It was going to be a little bit more difficult to get around that Cyber Dragon Infinity because he could protect it with the Gearsu, so I couldn't just like beat over it. But maybe I could just do some damage to at least be able to have some sort of follow-up. I top decked into a second Spell Power Mastery on my turn, and I figured, you know, if he could negate that with Cyber Dragon Infinity, I could activate the other one. So I activated the first one, and he didn't negate it. He didn't take the bait. When I went to activate the Safranu that I dumped off of Zephyrath to be able to add a Zephyr spell or trap, he actually negated that with Cyber Dragon Infinity, which I don't know, that's not one of the most like threatful things, but maybe he didn't see much of a follow-up, so he wanted to get the negate out of the way. So he did that, and then I was able to proc my Servant to summon the, the Endymion from my deck, and I took the Supreme King Dark Dragon were my normal summoned, and the Servant, and I put him in Heavy Metal Electromite, and then he just flipped Crescendo. So the only things I was left with was like Secret Village of the Spellcasters plus Endymion. And you know, not being able to activate spells is pretty good, but like when you're facing a full setup board, it's really easy to just go Nightmare Phoenix and then pop it anyways, which is exactly what he did. There wasn't any way I was going to win that game. The fact that he could just do almost the same thing the following turn, summon the Dingirsu to get rid of the Endymion, which was the problem, I wasn't winning that game. Game 2, again, I open up pretty optimally. I open up with a Jackal King Endymion plus a Heavy Metal Foe Electromite with a Divine Strike set in the back row. Pretty standard opening board. My opponent opens their turn by special summoning Cyber Dragon and then normal summoning a core and activating the effect. I had Secret Village of the Spellcasters up, so I don't really know why I chose to negate with Jackal King, but I did. I negated and destroyed his core, sent it to graveyard. His follow-up wasn't like all that impressive. He like summoned Natchster to bring back the core or something like that, and then he contact fused my Electromite and his dude to make the Chimera Tech, which is 24. So he crashed into my Jackal King, and I was still left with an Endymion and a counter. I don't know if like locking him out of spells really like stopped his turn necessarily, but I wasn't really spooked in the slightest. The following turn, I just Pendulum summoned out the Jackal King as well as 2 other dudes, and then I just tributed them both for Master Cerberus, which I drew into. My opponent only had a Cyber Dragon on the field, so I just removed 4 counters for Master Cerberus, banished it, made it beefy as hell, and then just attacked for game. So that was game 2. Game 3, I opened up a lot of Jackal Kings from what I can remember. I'm going second, so I'm already expecting like a huge board to beat down. I have a Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit in my hand, which is pretty okay. I don't know if that's like the best card against the matchup. I literally just tried to pick cards that I thought would do something, because I know a lot of my hand traps really aren't going to do much against the deck. So he's going off on his pretty standard Orcus combo, and I decide the best time to hit him is when he chooses to activate a Galatea that's connected. I just discard the Ogre to pop it. The only thing he was like left with was a long Gearsu plus 2 back row, one of which being a Crescendo that I knew he had. Wasn't too threatening though. I thought I could actually navigate it. I started my turn by activating a Master Cerberus, and I was able to get him on the field. And then I activated a Servant in my scales as the low scale, and he chose to negate that. Not a huge deal, because I just followed up by activating another Jackal King for the scale 4, and then I completed the scale with Chronograph on the other side. And then I just Pendulum summoned out the 1 Jackal King sitting in my extra deck, 1 in my hand. From there, the Master Cerberus already had 4 counters from activating 2 spells, so it was just kind of the same deal. I removed 4, got rid of his long Gearsu, gained its attack, and just beat into him for game. Quickest game 3 of my life. He made a huge mistake though. He ended up showing me afterwards he had a Call by the Grave. I don't know if he forgot to activate it from his hand or he ended up setting it, but he did have a Call by the Grave and he didn't use it wisely. So he could have ended on like an Ingirsu or something. I don't know exactly how much it would have affected the matchup though, because since I did open the Master Cerberus, I still regardless was going to be able to banish the Dingirsu, which kind of circumvents the fact that it can protect itself from destruction. It's hard to say how that game would have ended up if you remembered he had the Call by the Grave, but nonetheless we did take that down. So we are X1 for the day. We got one more round of Swiss. I pretty much just have to win it, otherwise I can't top. Again, just using this as kind of a day to like debrief and then build the deck out a little bit more. I have a feeling next week and the following week we're going to see some major changes. One more round of Swiss here though. I will update you guys with that result when I figure it out. This game is awesome. If you've never played this game, I fear for you.
He's lying to you.
Oh, and this game's the truth.
He's
don't lie to the
100%
people.
lying
This
to
game is the truth.
You can lose in the first 3 turns. He's lying.
Don't tell them that. Don't tell them that. That's like Yu-Gi-Oh. But thank you, sir.
Get out of my sight.
Okay. Hey, okay, this is actually where we end things today. Ended up round 4 playing against Mermail Orcust, and he ended up going full combo. He opened the absolute nuts, and he Moon Glaciated the 2 best cards out of my hand, so it happens, I guess. And despite winning game 2 with a pretty standard opening board, he did the same thing again game 3 when he went first. Not much I can do, you know, it happens, whatever. We pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, gotta get ready for next week. Next week is another very important competitive endeavor. We have OTS Championships, and although we already have our invite for the 2020 NAWCQ, there are a lot of packs on the line, which means a lot of potential to upgrade our sealed only deck. I'll catch you guys next week. I hope you guys are ready.